Hi, thank you for joining me today. One of the most fascinating and certainly one of the most intellectually astute saints of the 20th century is Edith Stein. Her life stands as a fascinating journey of faith and searching for truth that became a light shining in the midst of darkness. Born in 1891 into a devout Jewish family, Edith Stein demonstrated a keen mind and a strong sense that she was called to do something important. As a teenager, she made a conscious decision to stop praying and embraced atheism. Like many university students, she didn't practice her faith, but she did not use atheism as an excuse for loose living. Her life was ever a search for truth. She would eventually say, all those who seek truth seek God, whether this is clear to them or not. Edith began to study under the famous philosopher Edmund Husserl and earned a doctorate in philosophy, which was very unusual for a woman at that time. In 1925, while visiting friends, Edith picked up a book, The Story of Her Life, by St. Teresa of Avila. Totally absorbed, she read the book and declared that this is the truth. Much to the distress of her mother, she was baptized Catholic. Interestingly, Edith said that once she became Catholic, she began to feel Jewish again. She saw herself as related to Christ, not only spiritually, but by the same ethnic background. Her search for truth, which seemed to lead her away from God, led her back to God through the cross of Christ. Despite a desire to become a Carmelite nun, she continued to teach and speak on philosophy, education, and women's issues. Denied a professorship because she was a woman, Edith taught women at a teacher's college. So often we think of saints as dour, but her students recalled her as cheerful and friendly. One of the simplest and yet most moving tributes came from one student who said, "She taught me how to celebrate." As Jews became more and more disenfranchised in Nazi Germany, it became impossible for her to teach, and Edith finally fulfilled her dream by becoming a Carmelite nun, taking the name Teresa Benedicta of the Cross. Eventually, for her safety, she was moved to a Carmelite convent in Holland. The Nazi invasion of Holland brought the Gestapo, and in 1942, she and her sister, who had also become Catholic, were arrested. She went forth realizing that this was to be her sharing in the cross of Christ. She was taken to Auschwitz, where she was gassed on or around August 9th, 1942. Edith Stein was beatified as Teresa Benedicta of the Cross by St. John Paul II in 1987. He declared her a saint in 1998. Her life provides a link between faith, reason, and searching for truth. She said, "Do not accept anything as the truth if it lacks love, and do not accept anything as love which lacks truth." She also provides a link between Judaism and Christianity, between joy and suffering. She is a great saint for an age that questions and searches. You may access some of her primary works as well as secondary sources at the Institute for Carmelite Studies. May she always inspire us with her example and assist us with her prayers. Edith Stein, St. Teresa Benedicta of the Cross, pray for us.